Let me maybe start here. Let me start with Mari. If you follow Mari on social media, you see this gorgeous, kind, funny, good-hearted woman who inspires a lot of people. And the truth is, I don't say this often, and I don't feel this often, but I'm nervous, and it would be probably the smarter thing to say absolutely nothing and to just move on. But my heart is telling me the right thing to do is to share this part of our bond as well. I mean, we made an Instagram post, but we shared so much of our relationship. We shared so many highlights, so many moments. I mean, we also shared the challenging and the dark times. But it just would not feel right to move on here on this platform without addressing this. I mean, you read the title. It's not news to most people. Most people who follow us on Instagram. But also, even for people on Instagram, our community, it was just a post. And Mari was such a big part of social media, of my life, of all my businesses, of many things, so that one Instagram post doesn't feel like enough. I make this video. It's 31st of December. I woke up and it felt like I gotta do this. I really have to do this. I really want to do this from the bottom of my heart. And let me maybe start here. Let me start with Mari. If you follow Mari on social media, you see this gorgeous, kind, funny, good-hearted woman who inspires a lot of people. And the truth is, she is exactly that and way more. In real life, she's even funnier. My abs are mainly made because of her jokes and the way the amount of times I had to drop to the floor and just laugh because of her jokes. Plenty. And I remember this was the moment I really fell in love with this soul, with this person. We went to this waterfall and there was this little kid selling bracelets. And she went over to that kid, bought almost every single necklace, or paid for almost every single necklace, just took one and left just it was so genuine and so she's just so kind. She just genuinely wants to make a positive impact. She just genuinely wants to help. And at the end of the day, just me talking about it, this is my ex-partner, and if you speak like this about your ex-partner, this tells a lot about their essence. I could not say a single bad thing. We're talking about a person. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alive without her. There was this moment I had something called Burkitt leukemia, which is a really rare form of cancer. And I went from being really healthy, really fit, to almost losing my life, to I had doctors telling me I have 5 days left to live. Or not me, they told Mari because I wasn't able to speak, to talk. So the doctors go over to her, tell her, hey, he has maybe a week left. Her response really shows you what kind of person she is. She just said, no freaking way we're giving up. No way you give up. You do what you can, and we're going to figure this out. And she wouldn't even tell me. She would protect me from that news. She would she would spend the entire day with me in the hospital and play some healing music, and I was like, oh, Mari, really, even now? And without that decision, without her guts, without her courage, I wouldn't be here. So what other can I say than thank you, big thank you to Mari, and big thank you to this community and the things we did in the last 3 years. They're so much bigger than me, so much bigger than Mari. We opened a school together. We did so many amazing things. And at the same time, it's about time to close that chapter. It wasn't easy to say. To close that chapter and move on. I got so many messages from people who, and that's also a reason why I make this video. So many people who go through breakups, and it's really hard. It's really tough. It was also really tough for the both of us. I mean, I don't know how it was for Mari. I know how it was for me, and it was very hard. People kind of assume that it was, like, I get messages almost on a daily basis of, hey, Axel, how do you deal so well with the breakup? I mean, now it's 8 months, and now I'm happy. I love my life, and I think it's good that it happened. That was the right thing. Even though it was painful, it was the right thing. But oh boy, you don't see social media as a highlight reel in most cases. We consciously already try to make an effort and talk about challenging times as well. But honestly, the last thing I wanted to do when I was broken up with, or when the breakup happened, sounds so rough, I was broken up with, when we ended things or when we shifted, the last thing I wanted to do was to pull out my phone and talk about it. I talked with friends about it. I immediately called my closest friends. I'm like, I want that you check in with me. I would love to ask for your help. It's funny. So when that conversation happened, right after that, I was devastated. I did not see that coming. I did not expect that. I was maybe a bit too delusional. I was really committed in the sense of, like, I thought, this is it. This is the person I raised children with. I wanted to propose and all of those things. Like, it didn't even come to my mind that this could end. And so when I heard that, I remember laying on the floor. I'm like, it feels like someone just died. And I pulled out my phone. I'm texting my therapist. And I told her, I need a session yesterday. And that was a good decision. I made a couple of good decisions in those moments. One of them was asking for help and talking and telling my friends, I'm like, hey, it would be amazing if I could ask for your help. And they helped me so much. They spent so much time with me. Also making wise decisions, not based on emotions, or based on me being hurt or irritated, but really focusing on myself. And I remember going to Tony Robbins, and there was this part where he talked about blame life, not just for the bad things, or if you blame life for the bad things, you also have to blame life for the good things. When you blame people for all the bad things, you also have to blame them for the good things. And then he said, well, how about you either write a letter to someone who needs to hear also about the good things, or you call that person. And my head was like, you're not gonna call her. That is such a weak move. It shows that blah, 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 blah. And my heart was like, you gotta call her and you gotta tell her about all the good things too. You got to blame her for the good things too. So I called her at 4% on my phone, picked up my phone, and I was like, will she even pick up? We haven't spoken in a couple of months. She picked up. I was like, I have 4%. Please just listen. I don't expect anything in return, and I just want you to listen. And I said, I blame you for the most growth I experienced ever in my life. I blame you for the fantastic work we did in the last 3 years. I blame you for all the laughter. I blame you for all those funny memories. I blame you for being alive. And I stacked all the good memories, all the good things about her, instead of focusing on the things that were not good or were not fair, or the fact that she ended things. I focused on all the good things. I blamed her not just for the bad things, but also for the good things. And that was honestly the most freeing moment. There was another moment where my coach told me, Axel, there are only 2 choices for you, 2 opportunities. Number 1, you work on yourself. You really feel what needs to be felt. And you guys come together. That was 8 months ago. No, I know it won't happen. But back then, it was a possibility in my head. You work on yourself, you feel what needs to be felt, and you guys come back together and it's going to be better than before. Or the second, we don't know if this happens. Second option is you work on yourself, you feel what needs to be felt, and there is something better waiting for you. A better connection, even deeper, and it's going to be beautiful. And I was like, And then she asked me, did you ever experience this before in your life? I'm like, yeah, I did. And how was it? I was like, painful at the beginning, and now I'm happy that it happened, because if this would have not happened, this wouldn't happen. And she's like, interesting. It's like, interesting. Reminds me of the Steve Jobs quote, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And so having this faith that this is meant to be, and there is something better waiting, was really what helped me immensely. Talking about it, asking for help, really asking for help, and having trust, having faith in whatever, the universe, God, that something better is waiting for me. And this feels good. I think I said the most important things. I want to, Mari, if you're watching this, thank you from all of us for being such an incredible person. For all those really funny memories, for all of those inspiring memories. And Mari is still one of the most inspiring people I know. I cheer her on. I'm really excited. She's going to do so many amazing things, so many fantastic things. I know that whatever she sets her mind up to, she will achieve. And that is that. Many exciting things are coming. A book, a new podcast, and I feel 700 kilograms lighter. I wish you a happy, I don't know when you're watching this, but I wish you a happy new year. Nothing but the best, and the better it gets, the better it gets. It only gets better. Thank you for your time, and until very soon.
Aww.
You said thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.